good evening, everyone. My name is Brock in the Box, and welcome to Yoga with Brock. Couple things while everyone gets here and settles down and everything. Just go over a couple things more. Please make sure you're in comfortable clothing, preferably on a yoga mat, especially if you're on hardwood floors. And actually, mine's sliding because I'm on a carpet. There we go. If you have wireless headphones, I recommend you use those just so it's easier to listen to the music and listen to me as well. Helps also tune out your surroundings and everything. Make sure you're in a quiet, large enough room so you can move around freely. And please come focused and have a positive mind, because that's the greatest part about yoga is you're learning and discovering yourself, your body, and everything else then. Going through some of my notes, I apologize. A couple important things about doing yoga, just as more reminders then from last time. Again, yoga is about discovering yourself, discovering your body. We all do yoga differently. We are all put together differently. None of us are the exact same. So if there are any positions that you can't get, or you can actually do better than me, then that's okay. You know, you're not supposed to be doing, everyone can't do splits the first time. Like, you got to work on it a little bit. So if there's ever a pose that you don't feel comfortable in, you know, take it back a little bit, do another one. It's okay. Don't push yourself past your breaking point during any of these poses that, you know, we're doing. If, you know, you want to make sure you're doing enough where you're actually getting a good stretch, but you also don't want to be pushing yourself past your breaking point. You don't want to overextend anything. Just don't want anyone pulling or hurting themselves during that. Another big thing is too, whenever we're doing anything with bending with the knees, always make sure your knee is behind or above your toes. Make sure they never go forward. I will do bunches of reminders during everything as well for you. Hello Mars, and hello Muzi. Does everything sound okay? I tried to do some quick sound tests and it sounded like everything was fine. I just want to make sure you can actually hear me and the music. All right. And then today, during today's, we are doing a couple different things. I'm going to be teaching you a new breathing technique. I'll go over a couple of the importance of breathing. Going to do our sun salutations like last time, and I'll do reviews in case somebody wasn't here, which is okay. And I'm going to do a couple positions I'm going to show you that are, you know, more towards lower back pain, and some of the last ones I'm going to show you aren't really yoga poses, just more exercises that I do daily that really help with my lower lumbar. I have one of my vertebrae is actually crooked, so it pulls on one side and pushes on the other, and this, what I've been doing really helps. So yeah, let me just make sure. Good. All right, so first things first is this new breathing exercise, but before that, again, we're going to review actually breathing, making sure that when you do breathe in, you're going to breathe whenever you inhale, making sure you're extending that stomach. You're breathing into your stomach, not pushing in as you breathe in. So remember, and as you breathe out, pull everything in to help your lungs push it all out. Again, make sure, if you want to practice too, putting your hand on your stomach and making sure that your belly is expanding as you breathe in, as your lungs fill in and fill everything up, that your stomach's going out and not in. And then whenever you breathe out, pushing your stomach in and helping everything push out as well then. Another thing is too, make sure you're breathing in through your nose and out through your nose, only because it filters the air, moistens the air, and warms the air. It's kind of like a warm fuzzy blanket, so want to make sure we're doing all those things then too. Alrighty, cool. So, breathing. We're just going to do a couple normal breaths. If you want to put your hand on your stomach, I know it's hard because I'm like so tiny, but so hand on your stomach, and you're going to breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. You can do a couple at your own pace now. So you can get back to breathing normally. If you're feeling a little lightheaded, only it's because you were probably bringing in and taking out a lot more oxygen than your body's normally doing. You're getting oxygen and blood flowing everywhere, so quite okay. So for this breathing exercise, also known as a pranayama, really, really good if you're in a really stressful moment. If breathing is just not good enough to focus on, this is another great way to do something like this. Especially I do these during exams or before exams, or during periods where I need to just step away from everyone and be by myself and recenter myself. So what you're going to do with your hand, you're going to leave your pinky and your thumb out, and you're going to close in those 3 middle fingers then, kind of like I'm making like a California, whatever that gnarly thing is. So once you're there, you are going to, I'll explain this first and then we can do it together. You're going to breathe in through both nostrils. And then what you're going to want to do after you breathe in is with your thumb, you're going to close off the right nostril and you're going to breathe out of your left nostril. And you're going to breathe in through the left nostril. And then after you breathe in, you're going to switch pinky on your left nostril and you're going to breathe out the right nostril. And then breathe in. And after you breathe in, you're just going to switch and do the same thing. Breathe out. And breathe in. While you try that, one thing you might notice while you're doing that is it's easier to breathe out of one nostril than it is the other. One cool thing I learned is there's actually a flap of skin in the back. I cannot tell you what the piece was, I forget it. But during the day, it actually goes back and forth, and you actually breathe out of one nostril more than the other, and then over the day, it goes back, and you actually breathe out the opposite side a little bit better. From what I was told, nobody really knows why this happens. It just sort of does. But if you also have a stuffy nose, just breathe like normal. I know it's getting into like allergy and flu and cold season, so if you're stuffed up, don't do this. I don't want you swallowing all that in your nose. So, but if you can, go ahead and try this. We're going to do it a couple more times all together then. So, breathe in. And close off your right nostril. Breathe out. Breathe in. Switch sides. Close off with your pinky and breathe out. Breathe in. Switch sides. Breathe out. And breathe in. Switch sides. Breathe out. Breathe in. Switch sides. Breathe out. And breathe in. And switch sides, and feel free to keep going in your own pace. I'm going to do this for a couple more minutes. Next time you breathe in with your right nostril, go right back to normal breathing. I apologize if you hear my dog barking. So yeah, while you all finish up with that, yeah, I can already feel the oxygen going. Woo! All right. So, a couple new breathing exercises. Really, really good for if you really just need to like step away, recenter yourself, like I said before. Pushing on your nose is like weird too. But let's get into a couple of our sun salutations now, or one of ours that we did last week. So let's switch over to the bigger camera. And what you're going to want to do, give me a second while I fix this. There we go. I'm going to start forward, and then I'm going to turn around. So what you're going to do, remember, feet aligned with your shoulders, and while we're here, we are going to straighten up our spines. I know sitting in an office chair all day and walking around, we're kind of slowly just used to slouching. We're not used to actually standing up straight. So for this, what we're going to do, make sure your, again, feet are with your shoulders, stand tall, and then what I want you to do is imagine a string that's running through your body up above your head. You're going to grab that string, and you're just going to pull yourself up and lengthen everything. Just lengthen out your spine, and that's the proper way to stand. I know it feels weird because again, we're used to just slouching, but during yoga, we're going to definitely try to stand tall and keep our back straight. This will also help with our back pain because we're stretching everything out. I'm going to review the sun salutation first, and if you want to follow along, go right ahead. If you want to sit and watch for the first time, perfectly fine too. And then the second time we do this, I'll again show you when to breathe in and out with everything as well. But for now, I'll just show you the poses. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start in prayer pose. Just keeping everything, remember, lengthy, chest up, keep your spine elongated. So in the prayer pose, we are going to swing our arms down and up, crossing our hands, and then we're going to go the whole way down, and I'm going to turn around for this just because I can't do everything else after this, till you touch your toes. If you can't touch your toes, quite okay. Only reach to where you are comfortable at. It can be halfway up your legs, ankles, toes. If you can reach the floor, go right ahead. And then from here, you're going to reach halfway up your legs, back down, and we are going to put our hands forward, feet back, and we are going to go into plank pose. Remember, keeping your elbows, give me a second while I fix my shirt, there we go. Wrist above, or right below your shoulders. Feet, if you can, try to push them down to the floor. Just get a nice little good stretch in your hamstrings, and it feels really good because my hamstrings are not the best. And if you want, while we're here too, walk it a little bit. Just get everything nice and stretched out. And then from here, we're going to go down into downward dog, making yourself into that downwards V, pushing your head and chest towards each other. And again, see if you can get your feet down as low as you can. I obviously cannot, but some people, and the goal is to get those heels down to the floor then. And from here, we're going to go back into plank pose. And then from here, we're going to drop our knees and put our chest and chin to the floor with our butt up. And then from here, we are going to push ourselves up into cobra. Keeping our feet, tops of our feet flat to the floor. Using your arms to support yourself. And then from here, we're going to go tuck our toes down, back into downward dog. Then walk your hands back, feet forward. And then we're going to slowly bring ourselves up, back to prayer pose. And that's the sun salutation. So, again, I'll walk us through this while we do this. If you want to try along. If you are having problems and you need to turn your neck towards the screen, just make sure, don't turn too hard. Put your computer, if you can, in a good spot. Don't want you hurting your neck while you're doing all this. So, let's go ahead. We're going to start in prayer pose. I'm just going to turn myself around now. And from here, swing your arms down and above your head, crossing them. And reach all the way down. Touch your toes. And then come up halfway, down halfway. Hands forward, feet back into plank pose. And we're going to go down into downward dog. And back to plank. Knees down, chest and chin to the floor. And we're going to scoop ourselves up into cobra. Tops of our feet laying down. And Tuck your toes under, back down to downward dog. Feet forward, hands back, touching our toes, and slowly bring yourself back up into prayer pose. My shoulder just cracked. I hope you didn't hear that. And again, actually, now instruct you on the breathing part of this. Make sure you're breathing into your stomach, not sucking in your stomach. Make sure you're breathing out. So, prayer pose. As we swing our arms down and up, we're going to breathe in. And as we reach down, we're going to breathe out. As we go up halfway, breathe in. And as we go back down, breathe down, out. Breathe in as we put our hands to the floor and feet back into plank pose. Breathe out as we go into downward dog. Back in as we go to plank. And breathe out as we go knees down, chin and chest to the floor. There we go. Breathe in as we go into cobra. Breathe out as we go back to downward dog. Breathe in as we bring our hands forward and feet back. Breathe out one more time. And as we slowly come back up, breathe in. And back out, downward prayer pose. Let's do this a couple more times, and then I'm going to show you a couple of those poses for lower back. Let's do it 2 more times. Breathe in, hands up. Crossing them. Breathe out as you go down to your toes. Breathe in halfway up. And out as halfway down. Hands forward, feet back into plank. Breathe in. And out as we go into downward dog. Breathe in as we go back into plank. Out as we do chin, knees, chin, chest to the floor. Breathe into cobra. And out into downward dog again. Breathe in as you bring everything together. Touch your toes. Out again. And breathe in as you come all the way up. And out as you go back down to prayer pose. One more time. Breathe in, hands up. Crossing your arms. Breathe out as you go all the way down to your toes. Breathe up halfway. And back out all the way down. Breathe in into plank pose. Out into downward dog. Breathe in back to plank. And breathe out as you do knees, chin, chest to the floor. Breathe into cobra. And out into backward downward dog. Downward dog. Breathe in as you bring everything forward. Touch your toes. Breathe out. And as you come all the way up, hands above your head and out back down to your pose. Alright. So, those were our sun salutations. Again, really good way to, good thing to do in the morning, just to get things moving. I always know when I get down in the knees, chin, and chest. I cannot say that today. And scoop myself in the cobra. It's really good. I can always feel my elbows and shoulders cracking. It just feels good. And it also helps with that back. Just kind of like, almost like trying to crack your back there. Just always feels good for me. All right, so we can sit back down on our mats. I'm going to zoom back in on me for a second just to make sure I'm we're doing everything right. All right, good. So the first one is going to be a lower back bend pose. It's called head to knee bend pose. For this, I'll do it this way first, and then I'll turn around just to get you the side angle as well. Let me make sure you can see me. So for this, we are going to start out with our feet forward. Shake them out. Again, make sure you're pulling on your spine, or not, don't pull on your spine, but pulling on that string to lengthen your spine and lengthen yourself. From here, we're going to start with our left foot. You're going to bring that into your inner thigh as much as you can. Curling your right toes back towards you as much as you can. Just get a good nice stretch in your foot and your hamstring. Now, I'm not really good at this pose, so don't judge, but others might be better. What you're going to do, hands forward, and you're going to slowly just walk yourself down, and the point to that is then to try to get your head to your knee. I can't do this, so only because of my hamstrings, but still a good stretch. Get as far as you can. I like holding on to my ankle if you want to put your hands flat to the floor, and you're just going to slowly lower yourself as much as you can. This is literally all the farther I can go. If you're feeling any numbness in your foot, back off just a little bit, only because I don't want you pulling anything, you're getting to that breaking point. I don't want you getting to that. So get to where you're comfortable, getting a nice good stretch in your knee. And if you want to get it a little deeper in your hips, try to pull your left knee just a little bit back. Other good things too while you're doing these is you're breathing. Every time you breathe out, just try to reach a little bit farther. Not a lot, just a little bit. Just keep stretching yourself. Make sure you're keeping your shoulders down. Don't keep them up by your ear. Make sure you're holding them down. Hold this for 5 more seconds. Alright, slowly bring yourself back up. We're going to switch sides. So, left foot forward. Sorry, this wire. And we're going to bring our right foot in again. You want that extra stretch. Bring your right knee just a little bit farther back. And, again, walk your hands forward. I like holding onto my ankle and just bend as far as you can until you're comfortable. Also make sure you are pointing your toes back a little bit just to get that little extra pull into your hamstrings. And as you breathe in, focus on where you're staying. As you breathe out, see if you can just give yourself a little bit more push. Make sure you keep your shoulders down, not by your ears. Two more breaths. Alright, slowly walk yourself back up. Put both feet forward. Just kind of shake them out a little bit. Just keep everything a little bit loose. Alright, so that is head to knee forward bend. Not one of my favorites, but one that is supposedly helped with lower back, especially when you can get farther down more and more. Another thing I didn't think about, if you are doing that, bend your knee just a little bit. It should help get your knee and head a little bit closer and a little bit easier to bend back there too. This next one, a little bit trickier if you're not used to yoga. It's called pigeon pose, another good one. So, give me 1 second, sorry. There we go. For this one, we are actually going to start in downward dog. So, go ahead and put your hands and knees in the ready position, and then whenever you're ready, How about watch me do this first and then I'll start over. I'm gonna push myself up into downward dog. From here, you're gonna raise your right foot up and you're gonna swing it forward, dropping your left knee back. From here, while your knee's here, slowly inch your foot to the left, making sure I'm in the right position. So, keeping your hands above that foot. And then while you're here, you're just gonna focus on lowering your pelvis to the floor. If it's hard to do this, bring your foot in just a little bit more so it's easier, so you can almost rest your foot on your hips there too, just to give you a little bit more support. Another thing you know, so we also always do is get a blanket. That will also help support you as well. I apologize if you cannot see me, I didn't realize. Oh yeah, you're good. So from here, actually, we're gonna go back down. Ooh, there we go. If you were already doing it, we're gonna get into doing it in the real time. So just wanted to show you that first time. All right, so from here, let us go back. I need to fix my yoga mat again. Let us go back. Starting on your knees and hands. And you're gonna push yourself up into downward dog. And swing your right foot up and forward in between your hands. Slowly drop your left knee to the floor. Once you are comfortable, start inching your right foot to the left, out to the side, and pull your chest up towards the ceiling, along that spine, and slowly find a comfortable spot for bringing your pelvis to the floor. This is a really, really good hip opener. I think this one's a lot better than the head to knee pose, but I can really feel it in my left hip right now. And again, if you're not comfortable, bring that right foot in towards you more, just to give you something to set yourself on. And if you want a little bit more challenge, bring your foot out just a little bit more then, okay? And we're just gonna close our eye and just enjoy this for a couple seconds. Remember, you're focusing on your breathing as well. Don't forget to breathe. Breathing is the most important thing. Let's do one more breath. All right, now slowly push yourself up with your hands. Bring your right leg back, and we're gonna go back into downward dog again. Let's just stay here for a couple of breaths. If you want, walk yourself in place just a little bit, just to get everything loosened back up again. All right, now we are going to do the same thing, but with the left foot. So, walk myself forward a little bit. Swing your left leg up, and then back down in between your hands, almost like into a lunge. Drop your right knee to the floor. Put the top of your foot down to the floor. Inch it back a little bit. And once you're comfortable, you're going to slowly drop your left knee to the floor. I have to move my wire. Adjust yourself a little bit just to make yourself a little bit more comfortable here. And once you are in a good position, just slowly start pushing your pelvis down to the floor. I heard my cat, so I apologize if my cat comes into the screen. And don't force yourself to look if she does. Probably shouldn't have said that. So yeah, find a good spot. Make sure you get a nice stretch into your hip there. Remember, you're breathing in your stomach while pushing it out. As you breathe out, bring your stomach in to help push it out. Almost think of your belly as like a balloon. As you fill it with air, it expands. And as you let it out, 2 more breaths. Once you're ready, push yourself up with your hands. Slowly move that knee back. And we're going to go back in the downward dog. What we're going to do from here too, just to keep everything a little stretched out but even, go ahead and get on your knees here, sit down on your butt, and what we're going to do is we're going to go into, oh my gosh, the pose is blank in my head. I want to say child's pose. I think that's what it was called. Wow, can't believe I forgot that. So while you're here, you're just going to, again, reach those hands forward, pulling yourself out as far as you can reach, almost like you're reaching towards the ceiling but toward the floor. And go ahead and just rest your head there for a little bit. Anytime we do a back bend, this is a really good position because it is a forward bend then, it kind of counteracts that backwards bend of your back. And I just love reaching as far forward as I can. It really feels good in my shoulders. Alright. And we're going to walk ourselves back up. So those are 2 really good yoga positions to do for lower back. We are going to do one more that I want to show you. This is actually kind of like a mini workout that I do. Really helps with lower back. If you want to try to follow along, please do. If not, you can just listen to the music or listen to me. But what we're gonna do, I'm actually gonna educate you a little bit, actually. So if you are having lower back pain, one of the areas that it really might be affecting you is because of all the tenseness in your hips from sitting all day long. Also slouching and everything else is not good either. So this exercise is really good for, exercising your hips and loosening everything up a little bit. So for this, we are going to lie on our side. Give me a second just so I can see myself. Perfect. We're going to start on our right side first, just so I can point towards you. So left foot on top of your right. Use your arm here as support. With your left hand, you're going to place it a little above your hip. If you feel around, you're going to feel like a little ball towards the back there. That's the ideal place to put it, but if you have smaller hands, just right on top of your hip bone that you can feel. I'd like to sit here for a little bit, just massage that area, because that's actually where the pain might be coming from, is this little ball right on your hip, like the top of the hip on the back. Where all the nerves and everything else there. But from here, what we're going to do, I'll go through it first, then follow me afterwards. With your hand there, you're going to lift your foot up, bend your knee, and bring it forward to the side here. Make sure you're keeping your hip up there a little bit. Oh my gosh, I'm blinking a second. I just did this and I apologize. I do this every day. Oh, there, that's what it is. See, this is why we do practice first. So while your knee's in front of you, you're then going to reach your leg back and then swing it back up. And then while it's up, I always like to try to point my toes down a little bit just to get that extra stretch in. And you're just going to keep doing this. I usually do it about 10 times. So knee forward, leg stretched back, and back up, and then knee forward, leg back, and all the way up. Point your toes, leg forward, knee, leg back, and leg up. Do it 3 more times, knee down, leg back, foot up. You might feel some pulling, knee down, and your back away, and your hip away. And reach back. You're going to pull it up. Let's do it one more time. Knee forward, leg back, and foot up. Point your toes. And you're gonna come down. I already felt my hip pop already. Gonna rest for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, what we're gonna do then is we're gonna lift our left foot up as high and as long as we can. Only go to as whatever you're comfortable with. It is a lot harder than you're actually gonna think, but go down whenever you're comfortable. I usually try to hold it for 15 seconds. If you can do longer, go right ahead. If you can't, it's okay to go down and relax it a little bit, okay? So, put our hands back on our hips, and whenever you're ready, you're just gonna lift your foot up, point your toes down, or as far down as you can go. You're just gonna hold it for as long as you can there. Again, do it as long as you're comfortable with. It's good to count just to see how long you can. And every time you do this every day, and I do this every single day, see if you can hold it for one more second longer, just to push yourself just a little bit. I'm gonna go down. I can already feel my hip pop. Wow. And then what I like to do is, I sit up, just rock back and forth, just give it a nice little stretch on both sides. You wanna go forward a little bit at child's pose. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the right side, or I guess on the left side. So we're gonna go ahead and switch sides again. Feet on top of each other, elbow in a good supportive system. Right hand on your hip at that same spot if you can. And whenever you're ready, if you want to give it a try first, you're gonna lift your foot up, bend your knee, bring it forward onto the floor, and back with it. Then back up. Now while it's up, point your toes. Let's do for real. Bend your knee, bring it forward. Leg back. Foot up. Bend your knee, bring it forward. Leg back. Foot up. And bend your knee, bring it forward into the ground. Leg back. Foot up. Bend your knee forward. 2 more times. Leg back. Foot up. Last time. Bend your knee, bring it forward. Leg back. And bring your foot up. And we're going to put it down and rest for a couple seconds. Another thing while we wait here, usually if I bring the foot up too high on this last part, I can almost feel like myself being a Charlie horse. If you get that feeling, drop your knee, or drop your leg, drop everything. Only because you don't want to give yourself a Charlie horse in this position or at all. So if you are feeling that tension coming, that you're going to get that, just put your foot down. It's okay. All right. So hand on your hip, and you're going to bring your foot up, point your toes down. Hold this for as long as you can. Again, this is I do this every day for my lower back pain. After about a month, I've severely limited back pain. This actually helped a lot, and took a while. It really worked, and I can always feel my hips pop while I do this. And after a while, then my hips slowly stopped popping. My lower back pain went away. So go ahead and put your foot down, and we're gonna sit back down on our butt again. Rock side to side, stretch everything out. Alright. My cat obviously wants to, try all this. Alright, now for the last thing we're going to be doing, I'm going to mute my mic. You're going to lay in corpse pose for a couple minutes and just relax in silence. You can listen to the music. Just get everything else out that you had in. Breathe out that negativity. Focus on your breathing. And if you don't remember what corpse pose is, that is quite okay. We are going to lay with our feet out. You're just going to lay yourself down. You can put your hands wherever you want. You want to put them flat on the floor. You can put them on your stomach. Wherever you are comfortable. Just close your eyes. Lose yourself in the music. And just move away. And you can keep your eyes closed. Get into a nice seated position. Just gonna take a couple more breaths. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. And that is everything for today. So, I really hope you liked this stream. I hope this helped a lot. If you were here for the yoga, I hope I taught you a couple things, got you going and getting used to yoga and learning just a little bit about your body and how it moves and how everything, how you're really put together. And if you're here for just the relaxation part, I apologize, I cannot speak today. I hope you were able to, enjoy, learn a couple of those breathing exercises. Try those out one day. If you are stressed, just try them out. Step away for a second, go to the bathroom, and just practice that. I promise. And tell me if it helps, because I do it every day and it helps me a lot. I do have a link for a Google form, just asking a couple quick questions, I just want to know what you all think. So if you have time, please do it. I just want to know just a little bit, just so, I can either better, do something different. Again, let me know. Sorry, I'm trying to read the of course, Musi, of course. Thank you for following along and everything. And of course, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live life as you imagined it. Namaste. All right, and let me find somebody to raid, because we always want to support our family here. Always want to spread the love that we always do. So give me a second and I will, as it loads, sorry, I closed Discord, it's syncing, there we go. All right, who is live right now? Unless Musi, you have somebody, I see, you know what? I forget who we did last time. Let's go ahead, unless you already picked somebody. No, you didn't. Okay. Let's do Ambushman 27. I don't think yeah, let's do him. I don't think I've actually seen him play, so. And let me. As long as I didn't just close myself out. No, I didn't. Okay. I just want to make sure his Twitch name is the same. It is. Okay. I don't remember either. Yeah, so it's Ambushman 27. Put it in the chat there. Let's go show him some support. Let's go show him our love. I hope you all have a great evening, and I hope you have a great rest of your week and a great evening then. And until next time, have a good one.